Hello, I'm Matt from Dig Daddy Racing, and this is my A101 Toyota Levin race car. I thought I'd put out a video since it's been a while. I think it's been a year since I uploaded. It's a little bit different to the last videos I have done in the past. I will get back to those videos. Obviously, we're in a build mode with this car, but I thought we could do some history on it. Now, obviously, I can't go right back to when the car first came into New Zealand in 94, 95, I think it came out. But I do know some history of it before, obviously, I got my hands on it. I purchased it off a guy who bought it doing track days down here, and it was basically a mess. And I've spent a bit of time doing it up. I've raced it. I've ran one championship with it. I've blown an engine in it, and obviously still rebuilding it. So let's get into the history.
Just before I start the history of the car, this photo was taken probably a year after Chris had owned it, and he'd already started tidying it up and he'd put the new bumper on. So unfortunately there's no photos of the car prior to this. But Chris had bought the car off a guy in Auckland who had owned it for many years. He had raced it at Pukekohe with a 4AG 20 valve engine that was turboed. But that engine had since died. The guy ended up putting a new motor into the car. Well, I say new, it was more second hand. Chris said when he saw the car, it was very run down. It had no carpet, there were cigarette butts all over the floor, and inside the car had been wet at some point. The colour of the car was green and silver. Chris bought the car anyways, because at the time he saw that the car had some good suspension, and he had a couple 4AG engines of his own, and he needed a cheap daily. This was 2006. He had just paid $2,500 for this Levin. Chris went on to own this car for the next 5 years. He had put a new bumper on it and tidied it up. He ran the car at the Mount Vic hill climbs and came up with a couple podium finishes. He then decided to repaint the car. This was a 1K black paint. It wasn't the greatest, but it also did the job. He also added a fiberglass bonnet, a replica version of a GTZ bonnet. Then came the add-ons. A bit of a splitter on the bumper, a side exhaust, and then he ran it at Mansfield in Napier for a few races before selling the Levin on.
Yeah, so after Chris sold the car on, another guy had purchased it, and I think this is the guy who crashed the car. I put posts up on my Facebook and Instagram and all that, me repairing the quarter and stuff like that. They basically had a massive tear down the quarter, and it pushed a bit of the pillar in and all that. So obviously I've fixed all that now. And then I think after the fella, it's gone on to Paul, who I'll get to in a minute, who basically he has bought the car off this guy, and the car is basically pretty run down.
Now, while I don't have the photos to show you how bad the car actually looked, you can see in this photo that Paul's put some effort into it to make the car his own. When he bought the car, the engine was misfiring, so he fixed it all up and put a new pod filter on. The car also came with a crappy seat, so he replaced it with a new one, and also new harnesses, and bought a whole lot of tyres and wheels for the car. He raced the Levin around Mansfield and Napier. While winning some races, it was only to run for 1 year before he decided the time was up. It was time to sell the car. But while it was up for sale, he fitted a roll cage, and then the deal was done. The car was off for its new journey to the south island.
So Paul thought I'd actually bought the car, but I hadn't. It wasn't me. Paul, he thought I'd bought it because obviously it was a couple months later, and I noticed on Marketplace the Levin, and I was like, that looks like mine. Um, so I messaged him, and I said to him, oh, I've got this car. Do you have any other information about it? And he goes, oh, yeah. And he sent me a whole lot of photos. So that's how I sort of met Paul. And Paul had already been on my Instagram following me, and I don't think he had noticed that I wasn't the guy who bought it off him. So the guy who bought it off him, he obviously had his time with the car, sold it on to the next guy. That next guy would be Mark. Now, Mark only had the car for 1 month, and I know that because it's in the logbook for the Levin for the cage. So, how I found the car from Mark was it was listed on Trade Me under the competition section, and I was going through cars, I was scrolling through, I had some money, and I was looking for a race car, and it was quite cheap, and I thought, yeah, that'll do. So yeah, I messaged, I went and viewed after work, we came up with a deal, and $6,000 later, I ended up with this.
These are the first photos I ever took of the Levin. She didn't look like much. The front bumper was more damaged than I thought. Had a big dent in the driver's door, a broken taillight, and bulbs showing through the rear quarter panel, and a really crap paint job. But with all the downsides to the car, there was an upside. A blank canvas. A race car I could build to my liking, but it was going to be a lot of work.
Oh, hello. You enjoying the video? I hope you are. If you are, hit that like button and subscribe and help out our channel. It would be really cool. So after all that, I ended up doing a couple of track days with the Levin. I got my membership with the Canterbury Car Club, and I got my race license straight after that. I ended up doing a couple of club days with the Levin. They came out alright, had a few issues, and that's obviously why I decided I'd ditch the 4AGE. So I took the silver top out through Christmas and New Year's, and I threw in a 4AGE supercharged twin cam. I ended up repainting the car. I repainted the inside of the car, so it was all one colour. And I got some sponsors, and the car looked great. I went to do the last club meeting of the season, and the ECU died, and so that was that. After that, I got a new ECU before the 23-24 season started, and I decided I'm just going to do the circuit sprints. The 23-24 season for us was quite good, only knowing that we did 6 out of the 10 rounds, but we came second in class, and I'm pretty proud of that, as well as I'm proud of the car. So after blowing the engine up, I decided it was time for a ground up rebuild. I got told about a 20 valve black top that was available. It was in pieces, so we've got it all built up. It's in the car. If you want to see the build, it's all on Facebook and Instagram. Obviously spent a whole year fixing this whole car up, from doing the quarter, all the panel beating, the painting, to my mates who have helped out building the engine, getting the engine in the car, my wife putting up with all my stress and everything like that, and the kids, they've been really good. So I'm going to leave you with this. I am going to probably put out another video of actually building the rest of this car. It might not come out for some time. I'm hoping it will come out soon. I've got parts here. I've got more parts turning up. I've still got to order some more parts. So if you like this video, I probably rambled on a bit too much, but like it, subscribe, help us out build this channel and bring more content to it and to you. And I thank you very much for holding out this far, and I'll see you on the next one. You enjoying this video? I don't think I am. I don't think I can use that. That leaked pretty bad.